Hi, all. Sharon DeVries here with Counseling 521 Assessment Techniques. And I chose the ACA Code of Ethics by which to review assessment procedures and as a standard to hold assessment procedures up to. Um, what I love about the ACA Code of Ethics is that it's so incredibly thorough. And so I don't know that I could honestly say anything would take me completely by surprise because of all the forethought there. But to start out with, the assessment section, Section E of the ACA Code of Ethics, is 13 sections, which goes to show you the importance and just how heavy a weight it is to take on doing assessments with clients. It's not something to take lightly, and maybe that was a bit of a surprise there because I've been excited to learn about all the different assessment techniques and how empirically proven that they are, how effective they are, and very impressed by that. But at the same time, reading this makes me realize a tool in the hands of somebody that's not skilled could be a bad tool, even though it's intended to be a good tool. And I think that's what I come away from this section with, is just the importance of client welfare. And seeing that, like section E7, that talks about testing under favorable conditions or same conditions, as much as I would assume as a counselor, we would want to create a very favorable testing environment, that we also must adhere to going above and beyond that and be compliant with testing in, as E7A, I guess it is, testing under the same conditions as what the standardization process would occur in, and that not to do that would be a violation of ethics. The appropriateness of the instrument used. Something else that kind of jumped out was section E10 on assessment security and the importance of maintaining the integrity and the security of a test and assessment. So the counselors have to be very careful not to take any liberties at all with reproducing an assessment or modifying something. Maybe there's a timetable in the assessment that is 1 month, but the counselor feels like it would be more appropriate to have that on a weekly time scale, to be very careful and not to ever take liberties to make changes without getting permission from the publisher of that test. So that was something that really kind of stuck out to me. And also that even once we have taken all the steps to make sure that we have prepared everything ahead of time, that we have been diligent in seeking out the correct assessment, and we've gone through all the informed consent and the release information and confidentiality and all of that, and invested all this time in an assessment that counselors, according to section E5D, really must refrain from a diagnosis that could possibly cause harm to the client or others. So that was a bit of a wake-up call as well, that it really doesn't matter how much time and research and effort you put into an assessment for a client, that if that diagnosis could possibly impose any harm or not be beneficial to that client, have a negative implication, then all that is to be set aside and, I guess, on to the next assessment. So very informative, a great reminder, because it is exciting getting information on all the various assessments out there. And as an aspiring counselor, we want to learn as much as we can. And I guess there's an element of wanting to actually try different assessments with clients just to see what will be the most beneficial, but also that reminder that above all else, it's the client welfare, which is always held in the highest regard and best practice. Thanks a lot.